verse 12. We'll be reading from the New International Version. 1 Timothy 4, chapter 12. Amen. And it reads, "Do not let anyone look down on you because you are young, but be an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." Amen. Today I want to talk a few moments about understanding the assignment. Amen. Understanding the assignment. Understanding assignment is a phrase that has gained popularity, especially on social media. It refers to the idea that someone has comprehended what would have been asked of them and went over and beyond the task, often with a high level of excellence. This phrase is often humorous or to compliment someone who has excelled in their expectations. And we heard many people say that they understood the assignment. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If someone was to go to a ball and they wore a stunning dress, you would say that they understood the assignment. If you went to a ball and the man was wearing a nice suit, had his colors all together, you tell him that he understood the assignment. If someone would accomplish a degree, you would say that they understood the assignment. When you went to the barber shop, well, some of us, when you go to the barber shop and you go, Deke, okay. And when they get that fade just right, you said that barber understood the assignment. Or when you're a female, when you go to the beautician and she dye, fry, lay their hair to the side, you would say that they understood the assignment. So Paul wants Timothy to understand the assignment, so he writes him a letter. And he says, I want you to be an example to the believers at the church of Ephesus, because they need some redirection. They have been listening to false teachers. And then I also want you to provide leadership in order and pastoral care and offer some behavioral changes that is needed in the church at Ephesus. So why did Paul choose Timothy for an assignment like this? I mean, Timothy is young. But I believe Paul chose Timothy because he saw the gifts that was inside of Timothy. That even though he is young, he is still gifted for leadership. And each and every one of us in here have gifts. God has given you a unique gift that only you can have. Nobody can go through the struggles that you go through and still survive. That's why you are gifted. No matter what you have gifts, you have dreams, you have talent, and it's all on the inside of you. But you have to learn to not let people or anyone distract you to tell you that you're not gifted. But you got to know for yourself that you are gifted. Timothy was gifted, and Paul saw the gifts in Timothy. And all of us in here have gifts. Ephesians 2:10 says, "For we are created in the workmanship of Jesus Christ, for good works, which God has prepared before, and we shall walk in them." And so all of us in here have value. That God didn't make no mistake. God didn't make no junk. See, you have value. I know that you might have made some wrong decisions, but I came to encourage you today that you still have some value. Yeah, you might think that you too big or too small, but I came to tell you this morning that you still have value. That even though you might have tripped up and made some mistakes and made some wrong turns in life, that does not stop God from saying that you have value. For God has placed value on the inside of you. So no matter how young you are, or you have to understand that you must say yes to Jesus. Yeah. Because once you say yes, God can use you. And I don't know about you, this is a perfect day on Yes Sunday to give God a yes. And say, yes, God, I surrender to your will. That say, yes, God, I give you my heart. Yes, God, I give you my mind. Yes, God, I give you me. It's a perfect time to give God a yes. But as a young person, you got to make yourself available. Yeah, when I was 14 years old, I gave God my yes at age 5. But at 14, I really gave my heart to the Lord. I gave him everything. And what God did when I gave him my yes, at the age of 17, I was a national junior layman president. Because at a young age, I gave God my yes. See, no matter how young you are, you can give God your yes. But you got to make yourself available. If you don't believe me, we'll take David. Ask David in the Bible. David was attending his father's sheep. And he saw his brothers. He gave them some food. But then he heard what the enemy, the Philistine, had requests. And David went to King Saul and said, they must not know about me. I didn't kill the lion and the bear. They must not know about me. And so he said, listen, just give me a slingshot and a stone. And guess what? David defeated Goliath at a young age. If you make yourself available, God can use you while you're young. Why don't you ask Mary, the mother of Jesus? Yeah, Angel Gabriel came to her and said, listen, you're going to give birth to a Savior. And she gave birth to Jesus. If you make yourself available, God can use you while you're young. You might not say, hey, Rev, pump your brakes, Rev. Listen, I don't know about Bible, but I do know about culture. Well, let me break it down to you. At age 25, Martin Luther King Jr. became involved with the Civil Rights Movement, where they conducted sit-ins and the Montgomery boycott. If you make yourself available, God can use you while you're young. Look at John Lewis. At the age of 25, he crossed the Edmund Peterson Bridge in Selma, Alabama. Yeah, to have demonstrate civil rights and aim at secure voting rights for African Americans. See, if you make yourself available, God can use you while you're young. Here in the great state of Michigan, Maria Copeland, Little Miss Flint, became the leading voice in the Flint water crisis just at the age of 8. If you make yourself available, God can use you while you're young. See, even though you are gifted, a gift does not have a price on age. And so God can use you, but you got to give God your yes. I don't know about you. I ought to be some young people and some young adults in here today that said, this is my Sunday. This is my moment. This is my day. Well, I'm going to give God my yes, because God can use you while you're young, because you have valuable to God. Because guess what? You can reach places, guess what, that other people can't reach. You can accomplish things that other people can't accomplish, but you have to stand up and give God your yes. And you got to understand you're valuable unto God. And that value is placed not in your eyes, but your value is placed in God. Yeah, your value is placed when you give your heart, when you give your mind, when you give your body, when you give your soul unto God. And I thank God that my value is not found in the eyesight of people. Because people see one thing, but God sees something else. Yeah, people might see your fall, but God sees your potential. Yeah, people might see your disappointment, but God said he just needs some redirection. Yeah, people might see that you're immature, but God sees your wisdom. I thank God today that God sees something different when I mess up sometime, when I fall sometime. He still sees value within inside of me. Timothy likely became a Christian after Paul's first journey. And after Paul's first journey, he said, I need to take young Timothy with me on my second journey. That because Paul saw Timothy and saw value inside of Timothy. And value is not connected to people, but it's connected to God. And Timothy saw the value with Timothy. And he said, I need to take Timothy with me. And when you are gifted, people will see the value inside of you. We read in this book, Bible's Dream Giver. In the Dream Giver, it says, listen, don't be afraid to ask for help. It said the Dream Giver has placed people in your path who are meant to guide you. So Bruce Wilkinson emphasized the importance of seeking guidance and support along your journey. See, Paul chose Timothy because he saw Timothy was gifted, as we find in 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 14. But then Paul tells Timothy that he wants him to be example. He wants his life to become a pattern for others. And Timothy's value is to be an example and a leader unto others. And that Paul saw that he needed to have Timothy with him for him to be an example, so that he turn around can be example into somebody else. That's why Paul says in 1 Corinthians 11:1, he says, I imitate me just also as I imitate Christ. But Timothy follows Paul, and Paul says in Philippians 4:2, he says, but you know Timothy proven character, that as a son with the Father, he served me in the gospel. So he shows us here that by Paul following God, then Timothy was able to follow Paul, and now Timothy's able to have people follow him. So you got to connect with somebody who's following God. As young people, we have to learn that everybody is not successful on their own. That you just don't arrive at being successful. You have to follow somebody who is going somewhere, who has been where you already been. And I don't know about you, in my life, I have many mentors. I have a mentor for my family. I have a mentor for my career. I have a mentor for church. I have a mentor in preaching. See, and some of my mentors, they overlap, but you need to have a mentor in everything so you're able to be guided in the right direction. Because sometime in life, you don't know which way to go. Sometime in life, you need a little help. And so you have to learn how to connect with somebody who is connected to Jesus. And that's it. And then guess what? And since he followed him, now he's able to be an example. See, you are able to be example to your friends, to your family. You are able to be example because you follow God. And now people can follow you. And I came to tell somebody when you go to school tomorrow that you got to remember that you are not a follower, but you a leader. that God designed you to lead, or because this person is going in the wrong classroom, you don't go in the wrong classroom. This person want to go and skip class, that don't mean you go and skip class. You a leader. God has put some good things inside of you, and that's why Paul grabbed Timothy, because of Timothy's character. You got to understand that your character will go a long way. Because guess what? Your character can be in the room while you're not. Your character will speak up for you. People that talked about you, they ain't lied on you. They ran your name down in the mud. Somebody would say, that's not them. Your character will speak for you when you're not in the room. When your boss looking for somebody to give this extra bonus to or get some extra hours to, he said, she been working good. I'm gonna give her the extra hours. See, while you're not in the room, your character will speak for you. That's why it's important that you have good character. And so that's what Paul here is telling young Timothy, is that I need you to be an example, but I need you to be an example in your character. Yeah. So when you go to school on Monday, remember that you have to be example in your character. Now, preacher, what I got to be example in? I gotta be example in what I say. I got to be example in what I do. And I got to be example in what I believe. Yeah, the text says here that I want you to be example in speech. See, you have to watch what you say. You have to watch what comes out of your mouth. Yeah, we sometimes we can say the most hurtfulest things with our mouth. Our mouth can tear up our whole family. Our mouth can get us sent to the principal's office. We got to watch what we say. And we have to learn that it's power in our tongue. Because Proverbs 18:21 says the tongue is powerful. Because we can speak life or death. So as a young adult and as a young person, I got to understand that I have to learn that I got to speak positive whatever situation that I face. That it might be a difficult situation, but I have to learn to speak power to my situation. And I got to learn how to speak life over everything that I'm dealing with. I might not understand how I'm going to get out of it. I might not understand how I'm going to get through it. But guess what? I got to learn that death and life lie within the power of my tongue. So I'm not going to speak defeat over my life. I'm not going to speak defeat over your life. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to speak blessings over your life. I'm going to speak that you shall be healed. I'm going to speak that you shall make it out of what you're dealing with. I'm going to speak financial blessings. I'm going to speak positive that comes out of my mouth. And so you got to guard what comes out of your mouth. Because you got the power. Shut, I got the power. Yeah, I got the power to speak blessings over my situation. And that's why no matter what comes my way, I'm going to speak life. I'm going to speak life over everything that I face. And that's why it's important for us when we deal with our problems is to quote scriptures. And that's why Isaiah 54 verse 17 tells us that no weapon formed against us shall be able to prosper. And every tongue arises against us, we shall be able to condemn. We got to learn to speak life. In Psalm 23 verse 4 says that yea, though I walk through the valley, Yeah, of the shadow of death, I have to speak life. In Psalm 27, verse 5 says, in the time of trouble, he shall hide me in the secret places of his tabernacle. He shall hide me. You got to speak life. In Psalms 30, verse 5 says, for weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. You got to speak life. You got to have a couple scriptures tucked down in your heart. You got to have a couple scriptures tucked down in your soul. So when trials come, you can tell the devil, get thee behind me, Satan, because I'm going to get through this. I'm going to make it. I'm not going to fall. I'm not going to stumble, but I'm going to keep pressing. Anybody in here that says, I'm going to speak life. Got to watch what you say. Be an example in your speech. Now we had to be, it says here, now we got to watch what we do. Watch what we do. We have to be an example in our conduct and in love. See, when we live out our life with conduct, our actions often speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. I have my son Daniel, I tell him all the time, listen, son, I need you, when your brother is not doing right, and you tell him, listen, you're not doing right, I don't need you to hit him. You're not daddy, I'm daddy. I need you to come and get me. I tell him all the time. Every day. I hear some tumbling and fumbling. I'm like, what's going on? He said, Dad, I told him, but Dominic not listening. I said, son, what'd I tell you? You told me come see you, Dad. When you gonna do it? Because actions speak louder than words. I told him, you gotta stop all that talking. It's time to do it. So we have to learn that our actions speak louder than words. And so what do you do when problems come your way? Shalon knows, and Crazy in the Sky says that what she do, she said, I try to drink it away. I try to put it in the air. I try to dance it away. I try to change it up with my hair. I ran my credit card bill up. I thought a new dress would make it better. I tried to make it work anyway, but it just made it even sadder. I tried to busy it away. I ran around in circles, think I made myself dizzy. I slept it away. I sexed it away. I ran it away. What do you do when you don't know what to do? How do you face your problems? You face them how Salon's nose do? You need help with your problems, but you can face your problems with God. You don't have to face these problems all on your own. You can face these problems that you have with God. No matter what you're facing in life, sexual identity, peer pressure, whatever what you're facing, you can face it with God. See, your conduct, how you should actually line up with what God has in store for you in your life. So what you need to do is learn how to have a prayer life. Yeah, that's what's going to help you. Because mom and daddy not going to be there with you always. Mom and daddy are not going to be there with you always. But you have someone who's going to be with you when mom and daddy not around. So it's important as a youth, even now, to develop a prayer life. And What I like about the Bible, we have some great examples. An example of a prayer life who I always look up to is Daniel in the Bible. He was disciplined in his prayer life. He prayed 3 times a day. And what you have to do when you're facing your problems, that you have to learn how to spend some time with the master. Yeah, I know you like TikTok, but you gotta log off of TikTok sometime. I know you like Instagram, but you gotta log off Instagram. I know you want to play the game PS5 all the time, but you gotta turn that thing off. And you gotta learn how to spend time with Jesus, because there's some things in this life that only Jesus can help you in. Only Jesus can heal you. Only Jesus can set you free. I don't know about you, that anybody here said that I know what a prayer life can do. That my prayer life had got me out of some situations. That my prayer life had saw me through some situations. That I would have lost my mind. I would have lost my marriage. I would have lost my job. I would have lost some things in my life if I did not have a prayer life. So I want to encourage each and every one of you in here to develop a close prayer life with God, because God can see you through. Yeah, I know it's difficult. I know you can't understand how you're going to get through it, but you can call on Jesus and he will be there. Anybody know I can call on Jesus and he can help me? I can call on Jesus and he will make a way for me. I can call on Jesus and he will make a way and see me through. Anybody here glad about it? You can call on Jesus. I can call on him and he will see me through. Not only I need to be an example in my conduct, but I got to be example in love. See, this world is crying out for love. People walking around just mean. Just mean. My wife called me the other day, was like, baby, I don't want to go off on this lady over here just staring at me while I'm at the nail shop. I said, baby, people, they just need love. Just don't look back at her. Just pray for her. Just pray for her. But this world is crying out for love. Some people, they drive crazy because they want to cut you off. And I know you want to put the middle finger up, because I do too. You want to cuss them out? I do too. But we got to show them love. We can't pull up next to them and say, who you think you are? We can't do that. We can't do that. I know you want to do it, but we got to show love. In Matthew 23:37, Jesus says, he said, I'm giving you these 2 commandments. That you first love me, then I want you to love others. As young adults, our relationship should be a relationship of love. And we should go out telling others that we love them. We shouldn't go out talking about them. We should go tell them that we love them. Yeah, we shouldn't go behind their back. We know their breath stink. But we shouldn't go behind their back and say, hey, listen, man, you see sister so-and-so breath? No, we need to give them a tit-tat. We got to, come on, we got to show love. We can't be talking about each other. We got to show love to our brothers and our sisters who we see every day. Not only do we need to show love, but guess what? Love is a part of, we need to forgive one another. Jesus showed us the greatest demonstration of love and forgiveness when he was hanging on the cross. His first words was, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. He showed us there that even though that he's dying on the cross, fulfilling his assignment, that he'd been called by Jesus, he said, I still love them enough. Lord, I want you to forgive them. So I want to know, what has some person done in your life where you cannot forgive them? We have to be demonstrations of love. With our friends, we got to be demonstrations of love. In our family, we got to be demonstrations of love because God wants us to love one another. So we got to watch what we say. Got to watch what we do. Next week, what we do, he tells us that we have to watch what we believe. It says here, be an example in faith and in purity. What I say and do is part of my behavior. But my belief is a part of what's on the inside of me. But what is on the inside of me should be a response of my behavior. But sometimes my behavior is not the response of what I believe. So he's trying to tell Timothy, I need you to be an example. I dealt with your behavior, but now I got to deal with your belief. Because it's important for us to believe. Because one behavior can change based on a situation. But our beliefs ought to match up with our behavior. See, Paul wants Timothy to have faith because faith is constant. Faith does not change. If you see somebody switch up, that means they really didn't have faith. They was having faith in themselves. But when you have faith in God, situations may change, but your faith don't. In Psalms 1, it says, be like a tree planted by the rivers of water. See, what you understand about a tree, that tree will go through many different seasons. It will go through spring, it will go through fall, it will go through winter, it will go through summer. But that tree will still be planted no matter what season. And our faith ought to be like that tree that's planted by rivers of water. That no matter what comes your way, you have to understand that you have to have unshakable, unstoppable, unmoving faith in Jesus Christ. I don't know about you. I came here to let this other devil notice today that I have faith in God. That no matter what I go through, no matter what I face, I have unstoppable, unshakable faith. That I have the faith to press beyond my circumstance. That I have the faith that I can make it through this financial catastrophe. That I have the faith that God can help me guide my family through a rough time. That I have the faith that God can heal the sick. That I have the faith that God will make this school year my best school year. That I have the faith that God will allow me to have enough money to pay for school. I have the faith that no matter what I face and go through, that He will make a way. He will see me through. Is there anybody in here that says that I have the faith in God? Devil, you get behind me, Satan, because I have faith that God will make a way. I have the faith He will see me through. I have the faith in Jesus Christ, because on Christ, the solid rock I stand. All of the ground is sinking sand. I have faith in Jesus Christ. Not only does He want them to have faith, but He says, I want you to be an example of purity. Now, this purity is not only talking about sexual integrity, but He wants them to have a pure heart and motives and thoughts. See, it's important as a young person that you have control of your mind. See, you can't control what comes in your mind, but you can control if it stays in your mind. And see, you gotta learn to take off all that negative talk, all that depression, all those things the devil try to place defeat in your mind, and replace it with pure thoughts. Replace it with Jesus. Replace it with your faith in Jesus Christ. That's why Philippians 4:8 tell us, whatever we do to think on these things, whatever which is so is pure, whatever which is lovely, whatever which is a good report, we ought to think on these things, whatever which is praiseworthy. We have to learn learn to think on things that are above. Don't look at your problem, but look at God. You tell your problem how big your God is. Yes, sir. I don't know about you, but we are not able to be holy on our own. We're not able to live life on our own. We're not able to fulfill the assignment on our own. But because of Jesus, I can understand I have value. And I can give God a yes on Yes Sunday. Anybody in here that said, I'm going to give God a yes? Anybody in here that said, I'm going to give God a yes? He can have my mind. I'm going to give God a yes. He can have my heart. I'm going to give God a yes. He can have my soul. I don't know about you, but I came in here to serve the devil. Notice, I came in here to let him know that I gave God my yes. And since I gave God my yes, that I can win with Jesus. That there is no defeat in Jesus. Is there anybody in here who glad about it? That there knows there's no defeat in Jesus. That no matter what you face, that you shall win depression, or you shall win abuse, or you shall win peer pressure, or you shall win. Is there anybody in here that can shout today and say, I am a winner? Anybody in here that can shout and say, I'm a winner? Devil, you are defeated because I win because of Jesus Christ. Because one Friday, anybody in here glad about it? One Friday, yeah, he died on the cross. Anybody in here glad that he died? But early Sunday morning, he got up with all power in his hands. And since he got up, I can face my tomorrow. And since he got up, all fear is gone. And since he got up, I can make it. Is there anybody in here glad about it today? That Jesus understood the assignment. That Jesus died for you. And that's why you are. Anybody in here who glad about it today? Let me hear you say yes. 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 Oh. I don't know about you, but I'm a winner. And I don't know about you, but I'm a winner. Devil, you are defeated. Anybody in here and glad about it? That the devil is defeated in your life. You can't have my family, and you're defeated. You can't have my joy, and you're defeated. You can't have my peace, or you defeated. Anybody here glad about it today? Say yes. 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 I don't know about you. The devil's defeated, and God get all the glory. Timothy's able to be an example because he understood the assignment. But God has brought somebody here today to hear the sermon